Welcome to Sand Compounding. We are going to further delve into finer nuances of software as a service models or SaaS model. SaaS has a lot of investment ideas more than IaaS or PaaS, obviously, because there are SaaSs like the underlying software business models where there are so many software firms coming up with new products daily. We will get into what SaaS means and then take scenario by scenario. Again, these are not ideas to invest, these are not recommendations, but these are more of examples that would substantiate why SaaS is the go-to model in future. Software as a service, why do companies shift to cloud-based SaaS model? So SaaS, software distribution model, in which a software provider or the owner of the software hosts the applications on cloud and makes them available to customers over the internet. And with the advent of internet and with the advent of or rather the availability of internet across the geographies, SaaS model is fast catching up. SaaS is one of the three main categories, as we discussed in one of the earlier sessions, other than the IaaS, which is the infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service PaaS model. Now, SaaS model are subscription-based services available for key corporate functions like, for example, email, which is Outlook, which is collaborative, then the sales management, customer relationship management, CRM, examples like Salesforce, and revenue management like Oracle, Zuora, then human resource management and human resource billing, then there is documentation, storage, and collaboration. So different functional aspects of an organization, there are different softwares available, and there are many new age software that has come up. And what are the benefits of SaaS based models? First one being cost effective. The SaaS based model eliminates the need for organizations to procure, install, and maintain applications as well as the licenses, right, for these softwares on their own data centers. There is no expense of hardware provisioning, installation, integration, and maintenance cost, and even the software licensing cost, whose validity expires every stipulated time period. So it reduces the overall operational cost, and that's why it's cost effective. Scalability standpoint, it's very easy to scale in cloud because they don't need any local deployment and it's over the internet. And at the same time, companies gets benefit of the scaling economies due to the per unit fixed cost reduction, right? And then there is flexible payments, pay for what you use, which is very convenient for for organizations to scale up or scale down. Then there is lower maintenance cost post deployment because the provider takes care of versioning, patches, install, and maintenance. It enhances collaboration and agile method of development because especially the geographically distributed or decentralized teams can collaborate easily over the internet. And last but not the least is the digital accessibility and easy porting like mobile apps, right? So with the digital and mobile coming into picture. Only 30 to 40% of corporates have so far moved, when I say corporates, enterprise have so far moved to cloud-based and SaaS model, and yet another 30 to 40% will move over the next 3 to 4 years. And the associated term, what we call is subscription-based economy, is here to stay because subscription over licenses is the model go-to, and it is going to stay for a few more years. Let's look at the companies how they are performing in the stock market. All these are SaaS based or PaaS based companies that you will see. Look at some of the firms, right? New Relic. It's been up 4 times in 3 years, and look at the graph, how it's exponentially grown its revenues also. And these companies have a huge scale advantage in the future once more and more organizations add on to the SaaS based cloud model, right? And with more organization coming up, their ability to expand the capabilities also increases, which we will get into what are the competitive advantages in the end of this session. Then there is Splunk, which was up 2.5 times in 3 years, which is again significant growth in the market capitalization. Look at these two companies, VMware, which is the early entrant in virtualization, now getting into hybrid, is run up 3.5 times in 3 years, and the hybrid model is going to take this company further ahead, especially with the recent sign up with Amazon AWS. Adobe has really transformed. I have done a session on Adobe Focus, how that transformative journey happened over the last 3 to 4 years under the new management. Adobe really did a transformative journey, and the stock also, the shareholders got benefited because it went up 3.5 times almost in last 3 years. Then there are companies like Salesforce. Salesforce is like originally, it was a SaaS based model, although not called cloud when it was formed, but it was one of the first company that invented the process of cloud based software licenses. Although they had license models, now they are also transforming into subscription based economy. And then there is Workday, a new entrant in HCM, human capital management. It's up around 3 times in 3 years. All of these stocks have multiplied into so many number of times. And with cloud, subscription has given birth to many new age firms. Now there are recently developed firms like Coupa, which is into expense management. Then there is Zuora, which is into billing management, and then there is Workday, which is into HCM, and there is Okta, which is into cloud security. All these are new players who are giving a lot of challenges to the incumbent players, because the incumbent players are not able to retrofit into the cloud model. They were not originally made for the cloud-based SaaS model, whereas the new players are coming up from scratch as a cloud player, and that is a significant differentiator. So let's continue to see what are the competitive advantages for these firms. So as we said, what are the competitive advantages for these SaaS companies? The first one being the product being developed with cloud strategy as a key focus from scratch. So these are the new age SaaS firms where incumbent firms like Oracle, SAP are finding it hard to renew and reinvent their licensing models and licensing based products to cloud. And this is the main reason why the new age firms, what we discussed in the earlier slides, are able to scale up, and these could eventually become giants like Oracle and SAP. And while the incumbents are losing their sheen on the software products like SuccessFactors, Oracle Revenue Management. Now that is a first differentiator. The second is economies of scale. As we all know, mostly the software based and product firms by default have this competitive advantage where the fixed cost is high, and when they add more and more customers, the per unit cost reduces. And with the SaaS, it is even more advantageous because they are deployed in cloud and managed by these owners of the software, or these companies that owns the software. And when they are managing the software and they are owning it, the cross utilization becomes even more flexible, and they could eventually get the benefits of scale by upselling or cross-selling these platforms and advanced capabilities between the organizations that are on their network. The third one is switching costs. Switching costs is not an advantage, it's a disadvantage, because switching is easy when it is not contractually obligated over multiple years in the license model, right? Whereas in a subscription model, it's very easy to flip, from one network or one software license to another, one software firm to another, and there is no contractual annuity-based model that which used to benefit the earlier erstwhile software companies who used to have license model. This is typically a disadvantage for SaaS players. The fourth one is network effect. So this is a partial interim thing that's running, especially the network effect is with expansive user base that these SaaS firms are able to create on their network. The company's customers are able to cross collaborate between the firms. An example or case in point is Salesforce social CRM, which brings in the strong network base, right? So that is one case in point. Similarly, it is becoming more and more collaborative. Like with new products, one firm is able to use the security partnership with another firm because they're using the license model of this firm. So the cross integration, cross collaboration on the same cloud network is becoming more prominent as this model is catching up. So that's all for the cloud-based SaaS models and how to look at investment thesis. We will get into more details on how to value these firms and things on a later sessions. Hope you found this informative.